And we have on the line, yes, for my representative this morning, Mr. Fitz Jackson, MP for St. Catherine Southern. Good morning, my brother. How are you this morning?
Good morning, my brother. I'm doing well, notwithstanding all the challenges that are surrounding us.
Oh, by the way, I think you have me on speakerphone, and the quality is very, very poor.
Okay, certainly. Yeah. Certainly corrected now.
No.
Yes, you are doing well.
You give me $1 million yet? US from here, so you must be winning a lot or something of the sort. And that's how Ponzi scheme.
I'm not a gambling man. Whatever I have to work hard.
I have to work hard for it. But guess what? If everybody come beg you about what, boss, you can't give me $1,000. I don't want that big dollar again.
Yes. Well, that's a sign of the time.
A sign of the time. But I'm going to begin to mix up before you start. And you don't have to get into it if you don't want to. But I got a video yesterday showing a member of parliament into some little cuss with another caretaker. I'm saying to you, I know you're, as country people say, you're distant somebody. And let me just say to all our political friends out there, don't carry the nastiness to the people. We have been through it already. We are not going to go there again. It is, and if you saw the video, it is horrible. I know somebody should have walked. We tell me somebody can walk away, two big men argue and go like a, it was butter behavior. We mustn't do it, and the people of this country must not support it. And I hope no supporters in that constituency will not support any one of them. It is poor and boorish behavior. Are we trying to mimic what goes on up north? No, brother, with all due respect. Yes, sir.
I saw the video that you made reference to. And one of the problems we have in this country
is
that too many of us are not bold enough to say things as they are and to call out those of us.
Yes.
Individual by individual.
Right. You have to be careful of slander, do you know?
Everybody together.
You have to be careful of slander.
The gentleman who was attempting to walk on that tour.
Yes.
With the minister. Behave civil. Never indulge in any couscous. Stood his ground in a decent and civil way why he should be there, because he wanted to find out. And I heard you just say them.
All right. I'm going to answer.
The man in it.
Let me answer you though. You see, if you turn with your dirty behavior now, I'm saying the fear dirty behavior, you think me I'm going to take you on? That says no. I'm going to walk away. I can prove my point. The same way you come on radio, you can talk. That gentleman is free to come on radio and talk. I am not
talking about radio now. We're talking about on the ground, on the spot.
Right. And I'm saying, Mr. Jackson, I'm saying to you, if you see I go out there water in the mud, you don't have to go in it. Stay far. That's the point I'm making.
No. Where I draw the line with you on that. Mm-hmm. If somebody attack me and I have to defend myself, I'm going to defend myself there and then. In the instant case that we are referring to, no generalities.
Yes.
In the reference case, the tour was taking place there where the gentleman attempted to go and to get information about the matters that concern their community, where he lives to.
Yes.
Right? As a citizen and a resident. And happen to have political aspirations too.
And nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. He was engaging the minister in a civil way.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Me want dog next door, see?
No, Vernon. That is not debatable.
No, hold on.
It's a matter of fact.
By the way, I don't have a problem with that, But here I have a problem. Me have a neighbor have a dog next door, see? Jesus have mercy. You don't have to do nothing. You see me? I'm my yard, but not even going on the back because I can't take the nice. So I'm just saying to you that some of us have to take the high road. You are right in what you're doing. You're right in what you're doing.
Itself will be valid, Vernon, but in the instant case, it is of no moment.
Well,
it is of no moment, with all due respect.
To the mayor, I'm going to disagree with that one. Sorry.
The man made a point, and he made it respectfully. Wasn't that the case that he made it respectfully? Yes, he did.
But let me ask you now. Suppose someone that did and they turn it on a war. That's how we say we need to avoid it.
He behaves. Let us accept some facts.
Yes.
We don't put our own interpretation to it. Did he behave improperly? Yes.
Hold on.
No.
I never, let me make it very clear. I am only concerned at this point. That's why I'm only concerned, but I am concerned.
Describe the scene that took place.
No, it's more than that. It's more than that. I'm saying, you know what can happen when two political heads meet, or even political party groups meet. Therefore, try to avoid it. That's all I'm saying. And sometimes somebody has to take the high road.
I hear you, but I insist to make the point that argument by yours is valid standing on its own.
Yes.
But in the instant case, you can't make that. You're running away from the fact that one person behaves civil and one behave in an obnoxious way.
And I'm adding to
the obnoxious person.
I'm only adding to it now. This is my dog story now. Me only add to it. By the way, let me just declare my interest. I've known the MP for a long time, from a young boy. We went to school together, right? And I can tell you what he tell me. No, I can't say it on the radio. You would want me to lose about this if I tell him me one day on the radio. But all I'm saying, sometimes when you see a puddle of dirty water, just walk far from it. That's what I'm saying to the next person. By the way, that doesn't excuse the behavior of the other gentleman. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to take up your program for that.
The problem we have in Jamaica, you see, those who belong to civil society and decent and upright and all of that, we are lacking the courage to stand up for those things which are decent and to hold those of us accountable, as we ought to be held accountable. If I, Fitz Jackson, behave in an improper way, don't say them politician.
No, but hold on.
Them member of parliament.
I don't want to stress too long, but I think you're not getting my point.
The particular act of behavior.
No, hold on. I don't want, you're probably not getting my point. My point is that one, behave in a way which is expected, which is bad. But the other one, which, if I'm in that constituency, I probably have to consider where I put my vote. I expected him to one step. That's all the point I'm making.
But the man never behaving properly.
No, I told him. No. Hold on. I didn't criticize his behavior. I just simply said, from your seat start, I would just walk away.
No, initially you said them.
Let me take that back.
Politicians are cook and thief and them dishonest. All of them, including me.
No, let me take. Well, that's not what was meant.
Nobody can say any act of dishonesty.
Let me take. If it's how it came across, that's not what I meant. Probably it's a drama of it. So that's not what I meant. Is that, and I keep saying it, one has to take the high road. So guess what? The people in the constituency will say, listen, man, this one behave bad. Let me go with this one. Mark, we're not sure that will happen. We're not sure. Right? Because the people themselves nowadays, it seems that them hug up the dirty and nasty behavior. Right? Because let me tell you something. If Vernon Darby goes out and said, Jamaica must be good and honest, then run me. Don't forget those who go into politics and too decent, I'm telling you, you're lucky you're still in politics. You're lucky. Right?
I'm holding on until you come to replace me.
Anyhow, you see, we make rubbish, can't take up a valuable time. But tell the gentleman, next time he wants to talk, don't waste his time. That's what I condemn him for. Enough of waste time arguing about make somebody capture him power phone. Tell him, say, there's this radio program. He can come here and he will talk. This is open for everybody to come and talk.
I'm going to arrange for him to call and talk to you.
Yes, man. Yeah, man.
I happen to know him.
Yeah, man. Enough to get mixed up. You see me? Enough nastiness, me see I road, You hear me, I tell you? But me sorry, me now get mixed up like that. Then go away. Anyhow, you saw nastiness take up the whole of the time. Eh?
Well, it's around us.
That's right. And by the way, you need to help me to get some of them out of the system. They need to get out. And let them tell you, they can't try to sabotage me and set me up. Me not care, me not have nothing to lose. Alright, so they can plan for so they have done it already. And they'll try again. I tell better learn, say, me not afraid to tell anybody so what you do is rubbish. And me go a road, go even beg me not thief though. So if not try to sound and plan to set me up, continue. Me know not try to set me up, but me know exactly what not try to do. And I'm sure Mr. Jackson probably have heard that what some of them have done to me already. Alright? Yeah. So me just say what my office, I not care.
We all crossed our rivers.
Yes, me coming just like a member that I'm Zena Fisher Chilani. So anyhow. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They are quite first.
I thought you were going to close the conversation by saying that you are preparing yourself to run in a seat or in the seat I am to replace me.
I couldn't win, no, so I wouldn't win.
Bring all those virtuous things to bear in the political process.
And you're right, and let me tell you quite frankly, there was a time when I had strong interest in politics. I must tell you, I have met all the political leaders. That's why I used to impersonate them, All of them used to have meetings we are at Chilani there. So I knew Father Manley, I knew Buster Manley, Shearer, Michael Manley, I knew everybody. And I really love politics. But what I'm doing in the same is really political work to is consume, but it's mixed with everything. So, I still work.
Politics is about the people's interest.
Yes.
Like how the church is about saving soul, setting example for human conduct.
Yes.
But nonetheless, people go in the church and abuse it.
Oh yes.
And use it for other purposes.
Well, me have somebody at the church very close to me. You me tell a wicked somebody. And you probably know what me at when say very close to me. And I said to the pastor, how is it this person is a Christian person and is so wicked? And the pastor looked at me and said, Mr. Darby, the church is a place where sinners come to have their...
For cleansing.
Exactly. So I say,
my political party is a party where good people come in service to our fellow citizens and country.
If you start campaign, I'm going to send you advice,
All are perfect.
You hear me?
It's to bring them to the place of perfection when it relates to policies and programs that can enhance the well-being of our family.
And let me tell my listeners, that when it comes to politicians, I know probably most of them. I went to school with some of them too. So I'm not speaking as if I don't know. When it comes to politics, I'm quite aware. When it comes to trade union movement, although I wasn't directly involved, but I was on the sideline. So I'm not talking about something that I don't know about.
Maybe you must go back to your natural calling.
I must tell you before I go for the break, so we make a challenge. But I enjoy talking to you, and I must tell you that you are the few politicians who speak to consumer issues. So we're going to go for the break, and we'll come back. It's break, ma'am. Yes, my producer look for me. Yeah, we now jump into some of the things that really concern you. And I would love other politicians. You need to encourage them to talk about issues that you talk about. Yeah, man, you need to encourage them some more.
You need your strong voice to succeed in it.
Oh, by the way, I must tell you, I love politics so much, you see. I started, since I couldn't get into politics, I started to do things like this. I want to tell the whole of Jamaica that when I see the farmer working, so I see the teacher working by the will of God, we shall overcome. You recognize that one?
Yes.
What we need is sound economic planning. Jamaica is like a motor car running downhill. It is swinging to the right. You recognize all? Fellow Jamaicans, it gives me great pleasure to be here this afternoon. I am a lover of beautiful women.
So, Florizel.
Mr. Speaker, when you look, you can see that the price of goods are now going down. For example, the price of unmentionables are now going down. And when you look at the list of schools, Papi Secondary, Bill by Osamati. You see, remember those things?
Much into that one.
All right. Anyhow, you come get me out today. How much years I don't do that? Anyhow, you're listening to Rhythm FM, and this is a spot on the People's Program. It's my representative, and of course, you're in this hour, which is sponsored by QMAX Wealth Management. QMAX Wealth Management, making more possible. I'm your friend Vernon Darby, and my guest, of course, is my good friend, Mr. Fitz Jackson. Soon come back. Don't move.
You're tuned to Vernon Darby. Oh, love. Get ready.
Of course, let's welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to Rhythm FM, and it's a feature spot on. Your friend Vernon Darby, and of course, my good friend is on the line, Mr. Fitz Jackson, MP for St. Catherine Southern. Now, I must tell him thanks, because there are a number of things that persons like myself and others bring to national attention, and while you can, it really makes a big difference when a member of parliament, when somebody in the house takes up that fight. When I went back into radio, I think two things I think I jumped on was the national ID, which I'm sure Mr. Jackson will recall. So I jumped on the national ID and also the bank charges, and I felt like a lonely person, very lonely. But then, Mr. Fitz Jackson, member of parliament, took up the fight. And guess what? It was no longer a lonely fight. because he has some clout. So I'm glad he's here. Probably he can tell us what's happening so far, Mr. Jackson. Thank you very much for jumping on that one.
Sure. As you will realize, Vernon, this matter is ongoing and
Yes.
gets worse every day.
No, sir, liar tell, sir. No, man.
It gets worse every day because from when you were speaking about it to when I moved the motion in Parliament while being on the government bench
Yes.
in Parliament, the level of fees, meaning the amount charged, have increased substantially.
Lord have mercy.
And secondly, the range of fees, meaning the number of different things for which fees are charged, have increased.
Yeah?
So on those two counts, it has gotten worse. But on a third count, it has gotten worse.
Oh, Lord.
The government, elected by the majority of the people, but not the majority of the voters,
Yes.
they have now conspired with the banks for the continuation of the charging of those fees by refusing to take a vote to cause them not to charge those fees. And it goes further, on a fourth point.
No, hold on. No, Mr. Jackson, you must have tell lie upon the government. No government could be that stupid, Mr. Jackson. No. No, you mean this is something that affects consumers and they've been talking about it. No, you say that the government is that stupid, sir? No, sir.
No, I don't think it's that they're stupid. It only tells us where their priorities are and whose interests that they're about to protect at whose expense.
No, but if your priority is wrong, then boy, what's the difference
They're
between...
not stupid enough. It is a reasoned decision.
So what do you think is that
Determine
decision?
Who they are going to protect and who they are not going to protect. So they're not stupid. You would not call the Minister of Finance stupid. You wouldn't call the Prime Minister stupid.
Well,
You wouldn't call...
what do you mean I wouldn't? Mr. Jackson, what do you mean I wouldn't? If the Prime Minister does something stupid, I would tell Mr. Prime Minister you did something stupid. I probably wouldn't call him stupid, but I tell him he has done something very stupid. Oh yes, I will.
I know I wouldn't excuse it as mere stupidity.
Yes,
Because it's deliberate. And allow me for a second, I'll tell you why.
yes.
The fourth point I wish to raise. Upon tabling that bill to cause a minimum service package to come into place, allowing depositors, account holders, to be able to enjoy a certain range of transaction without any fee being charged.
Yes.
And I want to underscore that point. The bill is not about to set any fee or to tell anybody how much they must pay in fee. It is simply saying if you have an account at the bank,
Right.
you ought to enjoy a minimum range of services and level of services without being penalized by the charging of a fee, given the fact that it is the placement of people's money in their bank accounts that provide the pool of funds from which banks can lend money.
Hold on. They said penalize, sir. So hold on. When me used to go to school as a little picnic and drop me like a penny a year penny in a bank, you're telling me say if you could pick and put the money in a bank now and see if they would penalize them?
Yeah, they charge you for deposit you make. They charge you for making withdrawals from your...
So let me ask you a question now, sir. How is that possible? I know you're blaming the government. But how is it possible that the people...
The government is responsible.
No, but I hear you. But what I'm trying to ask now, were the people them there? The people don't seem to have a problem with it, Mr. Jackson.
That's an interesting question you ask. But let me tell you what I have found out.
Yes.
The people are afraid.
Mr. Jackson, but you come here to run joke. Who are the people afraid of, sir?
They're afraid, let me tell you.
Yes.
Let me tell you. This whole matter has caused me to come in contact with Jamaicans, not only in my own constituency,
Yes.
but across the country, from St. Thomas to Negril Point, literally,
Yes.
not figuratively. And it's surprising some of the persons. Do you know that CEO of major financial institutions, not banks, have called me asking for my intervention?
No, I will tell you that you're not speaking the truth there, sir. That is not possible.
Because of their position in the financial sector, they don't want to come outwardly and speak about it.
Mr. Jackson.
I have spoken to businessmen,
Yes.
not a businessman, businessmen, business persons, men and women, who have experienced enormous losses in fees being charged by the bank. And I said, so why you don't open them up and do anything? Look here, Fitz. My business depends on the bank, you know. If I go open my mouth and them close the account, I can't go to a next bank because the whole of them know one another and them talk to one another.
But hold on.
They'll be affected badly.
No, Mr.
Those
Jackson.
are the conversations.
Man, you're spreading propaganda on national radio, sir. You are telling me that big businessmen, that's the thinking there? Really?
Yes, business persons.
My God.
There was one businessman called me when the magnitude of his loss
Yes.
was in the region of $13 million. Right? Because of some subsequent fee charges based on a failure of the bank to do some reporting, what have you. Is when it got to that magnitude, he called me. And he was one of them who tell me why he didn't say anything about it before. Because of how dependent his business operations are on banking services. And it's for that reason I've oftentimes said banking is more of a utility in nature than just a service that you just do when you wish. You need it to get by in modern society.
By the way, you know, sir, I must tell you something, you know. That's why I am very concerned about you having a bankers association. In theory, it seems to be a good idea, but what it means, therefore, you can collude, you can work together, you can plan strategies.
No, but the truth be told, Verna, you can do that without having a formal.
Lord have mercy. Yes, you're right.
You can do that on the golf course. You can do that you know.
No, I know you're talking the business make we hear, mister.
Conspiracy don't mean a formal gathering.
Yes.
All they need is a meeting of the mind.
I hear you.
Around it, wherever.
So what you're telling me then?
The domino table, at the drinking session, where have you? You don't need that for it.
And by the way, I must tell you something. One of the easiest person to manipulate is a poor boy, Vernon Darby, come from Chilani Bush, right? I said him go to university, and he turn big shot, and he get big positioning. So when he get the big position, he's so glad you see, he just become a big top knot puppet.
Well, what you say is very true, you know. And I've seen quite a few manifestations of it. But I was touching a fourth point, Vernon.
Yes.
Go back to. The third was the conspiracy of the government, right? To not pass any legislation that can cause them not to impose those charges. But the fourth one is where the question of illegality of existing charges, not a question of whether the charge is reasonable or not, as what the bill seeks to deal to provide for, to get rid of unreasonable charges.
Yes.
But where you have breaches of the existing laws, the government refuse to even get a legal opinion on it, much more to charge them. And the Bank of Jamaica has equally colluded with the banks. And I'll give you a point example.
Oh, carefully, you know, sir. The comments you make, I don't, you know, I'm very conservative with them.
I'm standing behind it.
Yeah.
And I will insulate you and take full responsibility for what I say. Right? And prevent you from being liable in any way. Because I stand, no one can successfully challenge me, and I'm prepared to take that challenge from all of you. In the case of the dormancy fees.
Hold on. Let me take over the conversation, you know, sir. Don't bother start with that one, you know. Don't bother start with that one.
There's a point I want to make. There's a point I want to make. I'm not speaking about the unreasonableness of the dormancy fee charge. Let me out on this.
Yes.
I had initially approached it from that standpoint until I subsequently found out that it is a breach of existing law.
What? It is a breach of what?
Existing law.
So you are telling the amount of laws that the about Jamaica, the one to recognize that?
That's another point I want to come up onto. When I raised and pointed out in the law where the breach occurred, which section of the law, within 2 weeks all the banks suspended the dormancy fee. You realize the dormancy fee?
But guess what, you know, as I will tell you.
Hold on 1 second, Vernon. You realize that there is no dormancy fee being charged anymore?
So what?
Because I point them to the section.
Careful, you know. Mine is just dormant for a while, you know.
No, hold on, no. Hold on. They have breached the law, and the Bank of Jamaica, the Minister of Finance, the Prime Minister of this country, not one of them have sought a judicial review to legally establish as a breach of the law, one, and to take action against the banks who have collected those billions of dollars from people illegally. The same thing applies to the encashment fee being charged. I've asked the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, the Bank of Jamaica senior staff, the Minister of Finance and the Cabinet of Jamaica in Parliament, is it a breach of the law? And the Bank of Jamaica says no. They don't believe it is. And they allow themselves.
No, but hold on.
Action.
I'm not hearing their side. I want to hear from the bank too. No, but the bank, hold on. He can't say don't believe it. No, is that what you believe, you know?
First, and then you can tell them what ask them, you know what to ask.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can't. You can't say you believe it's either the law or not the law. It can't be what you believe.
And when you are in doubt, that's what a judicial
you check it out. When you're in doubt, you check it out.
You check the law.
Yes.
When the Minister of Finance came to the Parliament upon being asked, is the encashment fee a breach of the law? He said no. When he was asked, did you get that legal opinion from the Attorney General's chamber? Constitutionally, the legal advisor to the government is not any lawyer around the place, including yourself if you're a lawyer.
Me a lawyer, me a village lawyer. What do you?
It is the Attorney General.
Yes, the Attorney General.
Up until this moment, the minister refused to say whether or not he got it from them.
No, don't say he refused. He's probably still trying to find out.
No, he refused. And you can check the answered record of Parliament because the Speaker was also upset that I was repeatedly asking the question and he was refusing to answer. Those are not speculation or opinion of mine. The Minister of Finance refused to get a legal opinion if the encashment fee being charged by banks is against the law or not.
Well, I've been trying to get him to come on this program, you know.
He will not come to answer that question. It took him 3 months to answer me that question in Parliament when the standing order requires him to answer me in 21
So let me make
days.
it clear to the public that I have extended invitation to the Finance Minister to come on the show.
Vernon.
Yes.
If the government of the land is refusing to take legal action against those who breach the law and impose sufferation and hardship and rob people of their monies, and I use the word rob deliberately, because if you break the law to take something from somebody, you have robbed them. I am saying to you today, the Minister of Finance and the Cabinet, because when the Minister of Finance answers questions in Parliament that are duly tabled to him, it is not only the Minister who gives the answer, it's the Cabinet on whose behalf he answers, because his answers has to be approved by Cabinet. That is law. That is how the country functions. The Minister of Finance and the government refuse to even consider stopping any law-breaking banks.
But hold on. Let me make sure, you know, so we have to be very careful. And this is one to separate myself from the company. We can't say it's alleged.
No,
until it goes to court. No, Mr. I'm going to beg you. Don't go no. Mr. No. I don't want to go. No, Mr. Don't go down that road. And you know that we don't want to go down that road. We don't have to. There are certain things they don't have to, you know. We just let them answer.
No, no, I hear you trying to be protected.
No. Mr. Jackson, hold for me. Mr. Jackson, you know I support the work you're doing. But let me tell you something. So it's not just protecting them. I also have to protect myself, and I'm very conservative. Now let me tell you what. I believe if I can call you a dog, but I call myself a dog instead, I hope you get the message. I can do it that way. And that is my policy. Because when you can stay clear of certain things, you don't bother with it. So we can say what we have to say and no go there. We don't have to.
Well, on that note,
and by the way, you want me to be on this program for a very long time. I'm sure you want it.
Yeah.
Because you know, if I'm a friend wrong in a business, And you know, just to say with the businessman them concerned about losing their work, me can lose me too. Right? Me and of Derby run things.
I know that, but if we want to close that point, I'll close it. Just to say, that is the basis on which, because the government have failed to act, to just have the law observed,
yes,
that's the reason why I've taken out a lawsuit against the Bank of Nova Scotia.
Now, that no, I know we can't discuss it, but I gather that he went to mediation.
Yes, and as you know, I can't discuss the contents of mediation.
Right.
And I won't.
Right. But how long is that mediation going to take? Next year, 2, 3 years, 4 years?
No, it should be done. Next meeting, I've said it publicly, I said here, next meeting is scheduled for the 18th of this month.
18th of this month?
This month.
And you have a charge. You are going to find yourself on this program.
Sorry?
I'm giving you a charge. I'm now your boss. You are going to find yourself on this program immediately.
Oh, you mean after the 18th?
Yes.
Oh, sure, not a problem.
But that's when politicians promise you must.
No, but I can tell you, I can say it now and I will say it then.
Yes.
You know, I sued the bank for breaking the law.
Right.
I cannot break the law myself.
Yes.
So when the law requires me to keep confidential,
you will keep it confidential.
Exercise. I can't do otherwise.
But the mediation doesn't mean that the mediation will be finished on that day.
Yes.
It has to be completed on that day. Okay, let me tell you about the dormancy thing now. You have said that it's illegal. But I've been asking the banks about 10 years now. I mean, really, why the legal part, that is great. But I've also said to them, all you need to do, I spoke to a former president of the Bankers Association, all you need to do is to set up the system so that Vernon Derby, who have a little money there, I mean, about 10 women a road, they say, yeah, Mr. With about, can't go and believe Vernon, about 10 baby picking, baby mother. I don't go and believe me, but I rubbish me a chat. And me no want them know say me have two little dollar in the bank. So me not tell nobody. All I'm asking the banks to do is to allow two contact persons on the account. They can't touch it. Just 2 names. Because by the time Vernon reach 70 or 80 and start to suffer from dementia, Alzheimer's. So me no remember some money there at the bank. And guess what? It look like enough people just love it. Just like when people dead, those birds that fly high up love to come down and pick up dead left. It seems to me, and I'm saying it very carefully so I get myself that job. It seems to me that persons love the idea when you get all of your memory gone, then love the idea, say you have your money in a bank and you remember it, because we hear certain business people talk about they want it as loan. Worthless and low level discussion. All the banks need to do is to put contact information, allow me to put contact. So if anything happened to me and I can't talk, they can make contact with the person. It is not difficult to locate those persons who have money. But I'm telling you, so we don't want to locate persons.
I hear you, Vernon, and I fully support what you suggest and recommend. Very plausible. But I don't believe the comment you make about the business persons who want to borrow the money would be deemed a reasonable comment. And I'll tell you why.
Yes.
Those comments from the business people about doing that is premised on this, and these are the premises of it. One, the pool of funds that the banks hold as unclaimed funds, and they are holding it. It's there for the bank's use, because it's sort of like...
I swear you're going. I agree with you. I swear you're going. But the only thing, the perception of it. Yes.
Pool of funds sitting down.
Right.
You can use it. They didn't say to give it to them.
Right.
They said to lend it to them, meaning that they'll still be liable to perform.
Right.
And the value of it would still belong to whoever is the rightful owner.
But guess what? Guess why the perception came across that way? And you're absolutely correct. It's because I expected them to be understanding of the problems the same way you're understanding that the consumers are facing. Had they said, listen to the people their money, but at the same time, make we borrow it so they can earn money on it, then I would probably a little bit more, I would have left with that perception.
It's more reasonable to say they are being very narrow.
Yes. In their thinking. And that is what the problem I have with leaders in this country. They are very narrow. I wish I could say the same for you and a few other political leaders. And right across, the only problem I have...
You see, the thing about it is Vernon, we have to more think less of ourselves and think about us. Rising tide lift all boats. If the country gets better, all of us will be better off.
You need to go preach that sermon all over, sir.
Yeah, man. If the country gets better, a friend of mine said to me, good friend of mine from years ago, he said, Fitz, whatever I can do to make my friends make money and become wealthy, I will do that. Because if my friends are wealthy, they won't even ask me for $1.
I hear you. Yes.
So you see, the selfishness have a serious downside to it.
Yes.
Not wanting to, not disposed to helping others to do well can contribute to your own lack of growth and well-being, because the burden falls more on you. If a lot more people are making a lot more money and can contribute taxes and so forth, it can make for better roads and better this and every that for everybody. Better trained children can enter in the workforce to provide
but Mr. Jackson,
labor.
I'll give you a joke before we go for the break. You see me now? Be very selfish, So you know me do? Me work. It's because me know me selfish. I'm more looking better for myself. Me go out of the place and try. Me need help too, I do good for everybody. The last time gunman hold me up, our lady me help out. Call the police with me. So, a truly selfish person is a stupid person.
Yeah, man.
Help everybody else, and they will look after me. When I nearly lose my life years ago.
And amount to being suicidal.
Yeah, man. Before any relative could have come, we see people want to come to hospital and come look after me. Right? And one lady was a lecturer at the university, come and take my dirty clothes and wash it. So, truly selfish person is a stupid person.
Roller, older.
Welcome back. You're listening to Rhythm FM, coming to you live from Kingston, Jamaica. This is the People's Program, Spot On. And of course, we have MP Fitz Jackson, the Member of Parliament for St. Catharines Southern. MP,
yes,
I can only allow you 2 minutes to say what you have to say. You're now the Prime Minister, so you have 2 minutes.
No, not at all. Not at all. I am only an humble servant as Member of Parliament for South St. Catherine.
Right, you go right ahead. You have,
in our Parliament and for the rest of
you have 1.5 minutes left, so you go ahead and just speak for that time.
I would say that matter is one remain on the table to be addressed, and I will be persistent in my effort to get it through the Parliament so that the hard-working Jamaicans can not have their hard-earned money being extracted from them by these banks. And another point I want to make to Vernon, regrettably we hear of the reports, not reports, but the actual occurrences of the beryllium courier vehicles being attacked, robbed, and guards injured, and we had one death so far out of these series of attacks, which is most unfortunate. What we have seen is that persons' everyday business transactions have been brought to a halt in many instances because of insufficient or unavailable funds in the ATMs throughout the country for persons to go about their normal business transaction. And we realize that in the midst of it, we hear nothing from the Minister of Finance nor the Bank of Jamaica.
Yes.
The currency circulation is controlled and regulated by the BOJ. The government has responsibility to ensure that commerce and the normal conduct of business is being kept in a satisfactory way. Nothing from the Minister of Finance, nothing from the Prime Minister, nothing from the Minister of Industry and Commerce on this matter at all. The Bank of Jamaica, through the Banking Services Act, require these licensees who handle the country's cash to conduct their business in such a way that it can facilitate regular.
Yes, we only have 5 seconds left for you to wrap up.
And I would hope that the government would see itself not as a spectator in these matters, but having a responsibility as government to intervene, enable, facilitate, take all steps that are possible to ensure that commercial transaction in this business, in this country, can go on undisturbed. So the banks can shut it down for a day and two, nothing.
Right. Have to thank you now, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Fitz Jackson. I can always expect a very lively program, informative program from you. And of course, you will be back.
On occasion, we must talk about the 18th century law that the government trying to do to split up Portmore and take it up.
Oh, we don't touch that yet. That need about 10 programs. Take care,
yes.
Mr. Fitz Jackson.
18th century.
Right.
Still.
Have to go now, sir. We definitely have to touch that. And I've also, the mayor was supposed to come here to hear from him, so make him stay the mayor of Portmore. So thank you very much, Mr. Fitz Jackson, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Southern.